What if the pain you're trying to escape is actually the only thing trying to save you? Most people believe pain is a mistake, a delay, a punishment, something that shouldn't exist. But look at your own life. The moments that hurt the most, didn't they also change you the most? Pain is not here to break you. It is here to reveal what you refuse to see. In the teachings of Buddha, nothing is random, not your struggles, not your losses, not even this moment. Yet you've been conditioned to run, distract, and suppress, never to understand. So ask yourself honestly, are you living consciously or just reacting to pain without ever decoding it? Before we begin, your doorway to calm, clarity, and timeless Buddhist insight. And stay till the end. There's one powerful lesson that will completely shift how you see your suffering. Because once you understand this, you will never look at pain the same way again. Pain signals hidden evolution. Why does pain arrive when you feel least prepared to carry it? And why does it stay longer than you ever expected? You call it a breakdown. But what if this is not collapse? What if this is construction? The mind resists this idea because it clings to comfort. Yet life whispers something deeper. The moment you feel broken is often the moment you are being rebuilt. Sit with that for a breath. Not everything that hurts is here to harm you. Some pain enters quietly, with a purpose your present self cannot yet understand. And the question is, are you willing to see it? There is an old teaching, suffering is not random. It follows the places within you that are ready to awaken. Like a seed buried in darkness, it must crack open before it can reach the light. From the outside, it looks like destruction. From within, it is the beginning of life. You may feel like something inside you is falling apart, but look closer. What if something deeper is being rearranged? What if this discomfort is not punishment, but preparation? And if that is true, then what exactly is this moment trying to shape within you? Think of a time when life pressed you against your limits. Not gently, but with force. You wanted escape. You wanted relief. But instead, you were stretched. And slowly, something changed. You became quieter, but stronger. Softer, but wiser. Pain did what comfort never could. It moved you. It forced you to see what you were avoiding. It pulled you out of illusions you once called safety. So ask yourself honestly, where in your life are you mistaking growth for suffering? Close your eyes for a moment. Feel a past pain, not as damage, but as pressure. Notice how it expanded you. Notice how it revealed strength you didn't know you carried. This is the hidden truth. Pain is not here to break you. It is here to outgrow you. The version of you that cannot survive this is the version you are being asked to release. And the one emerging is unfamiliar, but necessary. So what if you stopped asking, why is this happening to me? And instead asked, what is this shaping me into? What if you trusted, even slightly, that this process is not against you, but for you? Because the truth is simple, yet difficult to accept. You are not being buried, you are being planted. And what grows from this moment depends on whether you resist the pressure or rise through it. 2. Nothing is random, only unseen. Why do the same emotional storms return, even when the people, places, and years have changed? You think it is bad luck. You think life is being unfair. But look deeper. What if nothing here is random? What if life is precise, almost surgical, repeating only what you have not yet understood? What returns is not fate. It is unfinished awareness. Sit with that quietly, because the pain that revisits you is not chasing you. It is calling you. And the question is, what is it asking you to finally see? Life does not move like a straight line forward. It moves in circles, subtle, patient, and exact. The same feeling of rejection, the same fear of loss, the same inner doubt. Different faces, same wound. Like echoes in a canyon, Your unlearned lessons return, again and again, until you stop running and start listening. And when you truly listen, not with fear, but with honesty, you begin to notice something unsettling and freeing. The pattern is not outside you, it is within you. So ask yourself, what keeps repeating in your life, quietly demanding your attention? Imagine your life as a circle, not a line. See the moments where your heart felt the same heaviness, even in different situations. Notice how you responded each time. Did you avoid, suppress, or escape? This is where suffering deepens, not because life is cruel, but because awareness was incomplete. Pain continues where understanding stops. And the moment you become aware, the pattern begins to lose its power. So where have you been turning away when life was asking you to face something directly? There is a hidden turning point here, a truth most people resist. The lesson does not leave when time passes, it leaves when you change. When you respond differently, when you see clearly, when you no longer react from the same unconscious place. This is the moment the cycle breaks, not through force, but through awareness. And suddenly, what once felt like punishment reveals itself as guidance. So pause and look at your life without judgment. What lesson have you been avoiding? What truth feels uncomfortable to accept? And what would happen if, just once, you faced it completely, without escape, without distraction? Because the moment you fully understand the lesson is the moment life no longer needs to repeat it. And in that quiet realization, you step out of the circle and into freedom. 3. Pain is memory seeking completion. Why does certain pain feel heavier than the moment you are in, as if it carries a weight that does not belong to today? You try to explain it logically, but it lingers beyond reason. This is where most people misunderstand their suffering. They think it is about what just happened, but often it is not. It is something older, quieter, waiting beneath the surface. Unfelt pain does not disappear, it waits, and when life becomes still enough, it rises again, not to harm you, but to be seen. So ask yourself gently, is this pain truly about now, or is it something that has been waiting much longer? The mind has a way of storing what the heart could not process. Moments you rushed through, emotions you suppressed, tears you never allowed to fall. They do not vanish. They remain like a wound beneath the skin, hidden but alive. And when a similar situation appears, even in a different form, it touches that old place within you. Suddenly, the reaction feels stronger than it should. This is not weakness, this is memory seeking completion. So what part of your past is asking quietly to finally be understood? Close your eyes for a moment. Bring your awareness to a recurring pain in your life. Do not analyze it, just feel it. Now ask silently, what memory is this connected to? Let whatever arises come without resistance. It may be a moment you thought you had forgotten, a feeling you never allowed yourself to fully experience. Stay there, not to relive it, but to witness it, because healing does not begin when you escape pain. It begins when you stop running from it. Here is the turning point most people avoid. Feeling your pain fully will not break you, it will release you. The fear is not in the pain itself, but in the belief that you cannot handle it. Yet every time you sit with it, without distraction, without judgment, something softens. The intensity loses its grip, the story begins to dissolve, and what once controlled you slowly becomes understood. So, the next time pain rises, do not rush to silence it. Sit with it, even if just for a few breaths. Ask what it carries, ask what it needs. Because some pain does not want to stay, it only wants to be completed. And the moment you allow yourself to feel what you once avoided, is the moment that pain no longer needs to return. 4. The universe speaks through discomfort. Why do the most important lessons arrive as disruption instead of clarity? as loss instead of guidance. You wanted a gentle sign, a quiet answer. But instead, life shook you. Something ended, something broke, something changed without your permission, and you called it misfortune. But listen carefully. When you ignore the whisper, life raises its voice. What you feel as chaos is often truth, finally refusing to be ignored. So ask yourself honestly, what was quietly asking for your attention before this pain became impossible to avoid? Life rarely begins with storms. It begins with small discomforts, a feeling that something is off, a quiet unease you push aside, a truth you sense but choose not to face. You tell yourself, it's fine, I'll deal with it later. But later never comes. And so the whisper becomes louder. The discomfort grows into disruption, not to punish you, but to redirect you. Like a storm that forces you indoors, pain interrupts your path when you have wandered too far from yourself. So where did you ignore your own inner knowing until life had no choice but to intervene? Think back to a painful turning point in your life. Not just what happened, but what it changed. The relationship that ended, the opportunity that slipped away, the moment everything felt uncertain. At first, it felt like loss. But look deeper now. Did it not shift your direction? Did it not reveal something you could no longer deny? Sometimes what breaks your plans is aligning you with your truth. So what was this pain trying to redirect you from, and where was it trying to guide you instead? Here is the part most people resist. The lesson is not in the event, but in your response to it. You can harden, close, and resist. Or you can listen, truly listen, because within every discomfort there is a message, not always clear at first, but present. And when you sit with it without rushing to escape, it begins to reveal itself. The truth you avoided becomes the clarity you needed. The pain you feared becomes the guide you never expected. So pause just for a moment. Are you still resisting what this experience is trying to show you, or are you ready to listen? Because life will continue to speak through whispers or through storms. And the moment you choose to hear it is the moment the storm no longer needs to shout. 5. Attachment makes pain identity. Why is letting go so terrifying, even when holding on is slowly exhausting you? You say you want peace, yet something inside you resists release. Look closely. It is not just the pain you are holding, it is the identity built around it. You don't fear losing pain, you fear losing yourself. Sit with that quietly, because over time, suffering stops feeling like an experience and starts feeling like who you are. And the question becomes uncomfortable. If you let this go, who would you be without it? Pain, when repeated long enough, becomes familiar. It shapes your thoughts, your reactions, even your sense of self. You begin to say, this is just how I am. But is it? Or is it something you learned to carry because it gave you a sense of certainty? Like chains made of memories, suffering can feel strangely safe. At least it is known, at least it is predictable. And so you hold on, not because it frees you, but because it feels like home. So ask yourself honestly, is this pain truly yours? Or is it something you have simply gotten used to carrying? Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine you are holding a heavy object. On it is written, "My pain." Feel its weight in your hands, how long you have been carrying it, how tightly you grip it. Now, slowly imagine placing it down, not throwing it away, just setting it aside. Notice what arises. There may be relief, but also a strange emptiness. This is the space most people run from, because without pain, the identity built around it begins to dissolve. So who are you? When you are not defined by what hurt you, here is the hidden truth. Pain can feel like protection. It gives you reasons to stay guarded, to avoid risk, to keep distance. But protection can quietly become imprisonment. What once kept you safe now keeps you stuck. And the longer you hold it, the more it convinces you that you need it. But do you? Or has it simply become familiar enough to feel necessary? So gently question yourself. What identity are you afraid to lose? What would it mean to live without this weight? Because the moment you realize you are not your pain is the moment you loosen its grip. And in that quiet release, you do not lose yourself. You finally meet who you were before the suffering taught you to forget. 6. Letting go feels like loss. Why does letting go feel like something is being taken from you, as if release itself is a kind of loss? You know it hurts to hold on, yet the idea of opening your hands feels even heavier. Look closely. It is not the thing itself you are afraid to lose. It is the meaning you attach to it. What leaves your hands often frees your soul, but the mind resists this truth because it confuses attachment with purpose. And so you hold tighter, even when what you hold is already fading. So ask yourself quietly, are you protecting something real, or just protecting the feeling it once gave you? There is a subtle illusion here. You believe that by holding on, you are preserving something valuable: love, identity, control, certainty. But life does not work this way. What is meant to stay does not require force. And what requires force is already slipping away. Like trees in autumn, life sheds what is no longer aligned. From the outside, it looks like loss. But beneath the surface, it is preparation. Renewal cannot enter where there is no space. So, where in your life are you resisting this natural release and calling it strength? Close your eyes for a moment. Picture something you are holding on to tightly: a person, a past, a version of yourself. Feel the tension in your grip. Now, gently loosen it. Do not force yourself to let go completely. Just soften your hold. Notice what happens inside you. There may be fear, there may be emptiness. But within that space, there is also quiet, a kind of stillness that was not possible when your hands were clenched. So what if this space is not something to fear, but something to trust? Here is the turning point most people miss. Letting go is not the end of meaning, it is the beginning of truth. Because when you release what no longer belongs, you are not losing yourself. You are removing what is not you. And yes, it can feel like loss, but only because you were holding something that had already ended. So, reflect honestly. What are you holding on to that is already gone? What space could open if you allowed yourself to release it? And what new growth is waiting just beyond your resistance? Because sometimes the most powerful step forward begins with the courage to open your hands. 7. Resistance multiplies suffering. Why does pain seem to grow the more you try to fight it, as if your resistance itself is feeding the fire? You push it away, distract yourself, deny it, argue with it, yet it returns, louder, heavier, more demanding. This is the quiet law most people overlook. What you resist persists. Not because life is against you, but because your struggle keeps it alive. The more you tighten around the experience, the less space there is for it to move. So pause and ask yourself honestly, are you trying to end the pain, or are you unknowingly sustaining it? Think of water. When it is disturbed, it ripples. If you strike it, it does not become calm, it becomes chaotic. Pain works the same way. When you resist, you agitate your inner world. Thoughts race, emotions intensify. The moment becomes heavier than it truly is. But when you stop fighting, even slightly, something begins to settle. Not immediately, not perfectly, but noticeably. So where in your life are you striking the water, expecting it to become still? Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine your pain as a current of water flowing around you. Do not try to block it. Do not try to escape it. Just observe it. Notice its movement, its temperature, its rhythm. Let it pass through your awareness without reacting. This is not weakness. This is presence, and in that presence, something subtle shifts. The pain is still there, but it no longer controls you. So what would happen if, instead of resisting this moment, you allowed it to exist without judgment? Here is the turning point that changes everything. Acceptance is not agreement. You are not saying, "This is right," or "I deserve this." You are simply acknowledging, "This is here." And that simple shift removes the fuel from suffering. Because suffering is not just pain, it is pain combined with resistance. When resistance drops, even slightly, the weight begins to lift. So look gently within. Where are you resisting instead of allowing? What would change if you stopped fighting just for a moment? Because the truth is quiet, but powerful. Peace does not come from controlling your experience. It comes from meeting it fully. And the moment you stop fighting the current is the moment it begins to carry you towards stillness. 8. Awareness dissolves the root. What if pain does not need to be fixed, only seen? You have spent so much energy trying to control it, change it, escape it. Yet it lingers, not because you are failing, but because you are looking in the wrong direction. Clarity ends what control cannot. Sit with that truth for a moment, because the mind believes healing comes from effort. But deeper wisdom shows healing begins with seeing. So ask yourself quietly, what if this pain is not asking to be solved, but to be understood? There is something subtle that happens when you stop interfering with your experience. When you no longer label it as bad, no longer rush to push it away, no longer create a story around it, you simply observe. Not as someone trapped inside the pain, but as someone watching it arise and pass. Like darkness fading when light enters, pain begins to lose its intensity when it is fully seen. Not because it disappears instantly, but because its roots are no longer hidden. So what happens when you bring light to what you have been avoiding? Close your eyes for a moment. Sit with your pain just as it is. Do not analyze it. Do not judge it. Watch it like you would watch clouds moving across the sky. Notice how it shifts, how it rises, how it falls. And slowly you begin to realize something important. You are not the pain. You are the one observing it. This space between you and the experience is where freedom begins. So can you stay here, even for a few breaths, without becoming what you feel? Here is the deeper turning point. Reaction feeds the cycle, but awareness dissolves it. Every time you react blindly, the pattern strengthens. But every time you observe consciously, the pattern weakens. Not through force, but through understanding. And in that understanding, control is no longer needed, because what is fully seen no longer needs to repeat itself in the same way. So gently reflect. What changes when you stop reacting? What becomes visible when you allow yourself to simply witness? Because the truth is quiet, yet powerful. Awareness itself is the beginning of healing. And the moment you see clearly is the moment suffering begins to lose its hold on you. Your pain is a direction. What if this pain is not here to block your path, but to show it? You feel stuck, slowed down, unsure. You call it an obstacle. But look deeper. What if it is guidance in disguise? Pain does not stop you, it guides you. Sit with that quietly, because every discomfort carries a direction. Not always clear, not always gentle, but exact. And the real question is not why this is happening, but where it is asking you to go. Pain has a way of revealing what comfort lets you ignore. It shows the misalignment, the work that drains you, the relationship that feels heavy, the habits that slowly weaken you. You may try to fix things on the surface to make it work, but the discomfort stays. Not because you are failing, but because you are being guided elsewhere. Like a compass pulling you away from illusion, pain points to truth. So ask yourself honestly, what in your life no longer feels right, yet you still tolerate it? Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine your pain as a compass needle inside you. Do not resist it. Just notice where it points. Is it asking you to leave something behind? To change a pattern? To become someone more honest, more aligned? Notice the direction, even if it feels uncomfortable. Because growth rarely points to what is easy, it points to what is needed. So where is this inner compass guiding you right now? Here is the deeper shift. Pain is not only a sign of what is wrong, it is an invitation toward what is true. But most people stop at the signal. They feel the discomfort, but they do not follow its direction, and so they stay in the same place, wondering why nothing changes. The guidance was there, but it was ignored. So pause and listen more carefully. What truth is this pain showing about your life? What step is it quietly asking you to take? Because the moment you follow its direction, even in small ways, something begins to open. Clarity replaces confusion. Movement replaces stagnation. And in that moment, you realize something powerful. This pain was never your enemy. It was your compass all along. It did not come to stop you. It came to lead you somewhere your comfort never could. The only question that remains is, are you willing to trust where it points? 10. Power begins with acceptance. Why do you feel most powerless in the presence of pain until the moment you stop fighting it? You struggle, resist, try to control what is already here, and the more you push, the heavier it feels. But then something changes. When you pause, when you soften, when you stop arguing with reality, in that quiet moment, a different kind of strength appears. Acceptance is not weakness, it is strength. Not because the pain disappears, but because your relationship to it changes. So ask yourself honestly, what are you still trying to fight that is already happening? There is a misunderstanding that acceptance means giving up, that if you accept something, you are losing your power. But look deeper. Resistance drains you. It keeps you stuck in a fight you cannot win. Acceptance, on the other hand, is not defeat. It is clarity. It is seeing things as they are, without distortion, without denial, like a warrior putting down their sword. Not because they lost, but because they finally understand. So, what if the strength you are searching for is not in fighting harder, but in seeing clearly? Take a slow breath. Let it settle within you. Now, quietly say to yourself, this is happening, and I allow it. Feel the weight of those words, not as giving up, but as presence. Notice how something inside you relaxes. The tension starts to ease. The mind becomes less chaotic. This is the shift, from resistance to awareness, from struggle to stillness. And in that stillness, you are no longer controlled by the moment. You are steady within it. So what changes when you stop fighting reality, even for a few seconds? Here is the deeper truth. Acceptance does not mean you will stay where you are. It means you finally see where you are. And from that clarity, real movement becomes possible, because you cannot change what you refuse to see. But the moment you accept it, fully, honestly, you step into a different kind of power, one that is not reactive, but aware. So reflect gently, what are you refusing to accept right now? And what would happen if you allowed it to be just as it is? Because the moment you stop resisting reality is the moment you stop unnecessary suffering. And in that quiet acceptance, you do not become weak. You become free, steady, and deeply in control of your inner world. 11. Transformation hides in stillness. Why do answers never come when you chase them the hardest? When your mind is loud, restless, desperate for clarity, you search, analyze, overthink, hoping the answer will appear through effort. But it does not. It moves further away, not because it is hidden, but because it cannot be heard in noise. Silence reveals what chaos hides. Sit with that for a moment, because the truth you are looking for is not running from you. It is waiting for you to become still enough to notice it. The mind believes movement creates answers. More thinking, more searching, more doing. But this constant motion disturbs your inner world, like water being constantly stirred. And in that disturbance, nothing becomes clear. Like a lake that only reflects the sky when it is still, your awareness shows truth only when it is calm. So ask yourself honestly, when was the last time you stopped searching and simply allowed yourself to be? Close your eyes for a moment. Sit in silence, even if just for a few breaths. Let your thoughts rise and fall without following them. Do not chase them. Do not resist them. Just watch. Slowly, like dust settling in a quiet room, the noise starts to fade, and beneath it, something else appears. A gentle clarity. A quiet knowing. Not loud, not forceful, but steady. This is where your answers live, not in urgency, but in stillness. So what begins to show itself when you stop trying to control your thoughts? Here is the turning point most people miss. Stillness is not empty. It is full. Full of awareness, full of truth, full of insight that cannot reach you when your mind is crowded. But to reach it, you must be willing to sit without distraction, without running, without filling every moment with noise. And this is where transformation begins. Not in action, but in observation. So reflect gently. What truth is waiting beneath your mental noise? What have you been too busy to notice? Because the moment you allow stillness into your life, even briefly, something changes. You begin to see clearly, feel deeply, and understand without force. And in that quiet space, you realize the answers were never missing. You were simply too surrounded by noise to hear them. Bonus. The moment pain becomes awakening. When does suffering finally loosen its hold on you? When does it stop feeling like something that controls your life? Not when the pain disappears, not when situations change, but in a quiet, almost unseen moment when your question changes. You stop asking, "Why me?" and something deeper asks, "What now?" The change in question is the change in life. Sit with that. Because the moment you stop blaming the experience and start engaging with it, suffering begins to lose its power. So, ask yourself honestly, are you still waiting for relief, or are you ready for understanding? There is a subtle trap in the question, "Why me?" It keeps you looking back, searching for reasons, holding on to what cannot be changed. It creates resistance, frustration, and a feeling of unfairness. But the moment you ask, "What now?" your energy shifts. You are no longer stuck in the past. You are present. You are no longer a victim of the moment. You are part of it. Like a door that was never locked, the way forward was always there. But you were pushing against it instead of gently opening it. So what if nothing is blocking you, except the way you are seeing this moment? Bring your current pain into your awareness. Do not avoid it. Do not soften it. Just see it as it is. Now, gently change the question. Ask, "What is this here to teach me?" Do not rush for an answer. Just sit with the question. Feel how it changes your relationship with the pain. It no longer feels like an enemy. It begins to feel like a message, something with direction, something with purpose. So what starts to reveal itself when you stop trying to escape and start trying to understand? Here is the turning point. Awakening does not happen when pain ends. It happens when your view changes. The same experience that once felt unbearable now becomes meaningful. Not because it is easy, but because it is understood. And in that understanding, something inside you becomes stronger, calmer, more steady. So reflect deeply. What lesson is hidden in what you are going through right now? What would change if you stopped asking for a way out and started asking for a way through? Because the truth is simple, yet powerful. Pain becomes suffering when you resist it, but it becomes awakening when you learn from it. And the moment you choose to learn is the moment your life begins to change. Quick summary. Pain signals hidden growth. Pain appears when your current identity can no longer hold your next level of growth. It is not a sign of weakness, but a sign of change. What feels like breaking is often rebuilding. The discomfort shows that something inside you is growing beyond its limits. Nothing is random, only unseen. Life does not create chaos. It shows patterns you have not yet understood. Repeated emotional experiences are unfinished lessons coming back. What you call coincidence is often unconscious repetition. Awareness is the only thing that can break this cycle. Pain is memory, seeking completion. Deep pain is rarely about the present moment alone. It is the return of unresolved emotional patterns. What remains unprocessed continues to shape your reality. Healing begins when you allow yourself to fully feel what was once suppressed. The universe speaks through discomfort. Pain often comes when quiet guidance has been ignored. It is not punishment, but a strong push toward truth. Discomfort shows misalignment between your actions and your deeper self. The stronger the pain, the more urgent the message. Attachment creates pain. Identity. You hold on to pain because it becomes part of who you think you are. Letting go feels like losing a part of yourself. The mind holds on to what is familiar, even when it causes suffering. True freedom begins when you separate who you are from what you feel. Letting go feels like loss. Release feels painful because you connect attachment with meaning. What you hold on to is often already gone in reality. Letting go creates space for clarity and renewal. Growth cannot happen without letting go of what no longer serves you. Resistance increases suffering. Fighting pain makes it stronger in your life. Resistance strengthens the feeling you want to escape. Acceptance reduces the inner conflict that creates suffering. Peace begins the moment you stop fighting reality. 8. Awareness dissolves the root. Pain loses power when it is observed without reaction. Awareness shows the true nature of suffering. What is fully understood no longer controls you. Clarity becomes the base of healing. Your pain is a direction. Pain points to areas where change is needed. It shows what is out of alignment in your life. Discomfort acts as guidance, not a barrier. Following its message leads to growth and truth. Power begins with acceptance. Control is an illusion created by resistance. True strength comes from accepting what is. Acceptance allows you to respond instead of react. This shift turns pain into stability and clarity. Transformation hides in stillness. Constant mental noise blocks deeper understanding. Stillness creates space for insight and clarity. Answers come when the mind is no longer distracted. Inner peace becomes the gateway to transformation. Pain becomes awakening. Suffering ends when your view changes. The right question changes your whole experience. Meaning replaces confusion when you seek understanding. Awakening begins the moment you choose growth over resistance. Pain was never meaningless. It only seemed that way because you were looking at it from the surface. Beneath every moment of discomfort is a clear intelligence shaping your awareness, sharpening your perception, and guiding you toward deeper truth. The more you resist it, the more it controls you. But the moment you face it with clarity, something changes. Pain no longer feels like an enemy. It becomes a teacher. In stillness, truth reveals itself, not by force, but through understanding. This is the essence of Zen philosophy. Nothing is added, nothing is removed, only seen clearly. When you stop running from your experience, you stop creating suffering. And when you stop creating suffering, you begin to experience life as it truly is. Peaceful, whole, and complete. So now ask yourself, will you keep escaping your pain, or will you finally listen to what it has been trying to show you all along? If this insight connected with you, Take a moment to like this video, share your thoughts in the comments, and let others feel this clarity. For more deep Buddhist insights on living a peaceful, aware life.